We saw a great need for a free legal service to accompany the great advocacy that UTW does. And we also wanted to help UTW sort of re-energize their membership to sort of reflect more of the immigrant community.
You know, it's really interesting when you look at the history of Asian Americans in this country, there's actually quite a lot of links. You go back to 1880s and you see the Chinese Exclusion Act. And the same thing happens in its own way in 1940s with the Japanese American community. And then you come into 2000 and September 11th and you find that folks are being asked to register under the special registration program and then the unlawful detentions. So there's actually a lot of links between these communities. And what you have to find is some institution, some organization that can bind them together. Otherwise, they're just separate experiences.
So my name is Amir Khan, and I've been, profiled for a long period of time. After 9/11, 2003, I was going to the airport. The very first time I was stopped was at Denver International Airport. You know, I was boarding the plane, and I was trying to get my ticket, and the lady said, "I can't board the plane." I said, "Why?" "There's something wrong with your name." I said, "I don't understand. What does that mean?" She said, "Oh, no, your name is on some kind of list." I used to travel a lot, so every time I would go to the airport domestically, I would be stopped, and I had to go through additional security screening. It happened, I would say 99% of the time, and they called it random. Somebody told me about this organization. They said, they deal with, harassment and profiling. Shri Sharan and other, personnel of Asian Law Caucuses were extremely helpful. They provided me the opportunity to, bring the story, my experience to light, basically, and get some sort of justice.
Well, the caucus, clearly immigrant rights is on the agenda. It still is on the agenda. Our community has changed quite a bit in the last 20-25 years. And I think for the caucus, it's trying to be innovative, be creative, and certainly open to what the new changing demographics are.
As I see it, the future belongs to the minorities that can put the greatest majorities together.
I'm here in Asian Law Caucus is to be part of something that I really believe in.
Our group is the Asian students promoting immigration reform through education.
We are trying to outreach for undocumented students or undocumented youth who've been struggling with their everyday life. About 65,000 youth every year they graduate from high school, and either they cannot go to college or they are unable to work because they don't have the papers. They have no dream, they don't have hope in their lives. That is devastating.
It's really critical to invest in organizations like the Asian Law Caucus because of the history that it has, because the kind of important and critical work that it does, not only on behalf of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, but for all of us.
Well, I think it's important to invest in civil rights. Our country's history, unfortunately, is full of a lot of instances of inequality, of maltreatment. Our civil rights laws are really an aberration to American history. They are the exception to the rule. And because they are the exception, and because they are an aberration, we always have to remain vigilant, because there are people who want to wipe these laws off the books.
So even though we're in the 37th year of the caucus's existence, we've had a number of firsts this year that really point the way for what we can achieve in the future.
But I think it's also become much more sophisticated. I think it's kept true to its mission about education, trying to empower the community, trying to use law as a tool to empower that community. But I also think that it's grown and it's kept its contacts with the community, which I'm really proud of.
I think it's very easy for many nonprofits and civil rights organizations to just work on their own agenda in a vacuum, in their own silo. The caucus has always been in the vanguard of a progressive movement in the Bay Area and indeed in the country. They've always gotten out of their silo. They've never just been confined to Asian American issues. They've always seen the broad picture.
While we appreciate the limitations of legal strategies, and that's why we're establishing the Korematsu Institute in order to bring a whole new dimension to our work, here at the Asian Law Caucus, we also really believe in the power of the law to unearth the leadership potential of individuals, to mobilize social movements, and to transform people's lives.
We are the children of the migrant worker. We are the offspring of the concentration camp. Sons and daughters of the railroad builder who leave their stamp on America. We are the children of the Chinese waiter, born and raised in the laundry room. We are the offspring of the Japanese gardener who leave their stamp on America. Sing a song for ourselves. What have we got to lose? Sing a song for ourselves. We got the right to choose. We got the right to choose. We got the right to choose. Foster children of the Pepsi generation, cowboys and Indians ride, red men ride.